I'm sorry. I need a moment. Cue the titles. Just, Hello, Star Trek fans, and welcome to my review of Star Trek X, Nemesis. Oh boy, we had to get to this one, didn't we? Right, so, let's get this show on the road. So basically the plot, sorry to turn my back for a second, I'm just going to read the synopsis. So the basic plot, well I say basic plot, the plot of Star Trek Nemesis is... On their way to William Riker and Deanna Troy's honeymoon, the Enterprise is sent near the neutral zone to Romulan space and picks up a prototype twin of the android Data. Immediately, they are further sent to Romulus, where the new Praetor, whatever that says, Shinzon, a human cloned from Captain Picard, who lives on the slave planet Remus, appears to want peace with the Federation, but then the crew detects a break-in on their computer systems and Picard is captured by the Remans because Shinzon needs him as his only matching supplier of genetic material. Picard and the Enterprise can escape, only to find themselves battling Shinzon's completely cloaked Warbird, who is after the complete destruction of Earth. And that is the plot of Star Trek Nemesis. Star Trek Nemesis... This movie fucking sucks. That's all I have to say. Well fucking done. Whoop-de-doo. You did it, folks. You finished the TNG films with this. I mean, what the fuck is this film? What did I watch? I was sitting watching this film for 1 hour 55 minutes, and fuck all happens. What, just, oh, God's sake. You thought after the previous film you'd actually try and make something, at least something decent like First Contact, but no, you go with this shit. Oh, God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I've never seen this before, and this is the first time I've actually seen this film. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, the TNG crew, they've done it again. To say that they've only got one good film is a pretty much a disgrace. I mean, this movie, you know, opens with another, you know, with a wedding scene, no, not a wedding scene, well, kind of. We see Riker and Troy's wedding, which is nice. That's a nice scene, but then afterwards the movie just drags and drags and drags and drags along. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know where to begin. This movie is just ugly. That's the problem. Tonally, I feel this film is just reeks of ugly goo. Oh, it's at least with the other films. At least you could say that I mean, Insurrection is a bad movie, no question. It is a bad movie, but at least its heart is in the right place. At least it has a heart, you know. This is like, fuck you, Star Trek fans. We're sucking all the life out of this, and the fact that they kill off Data just confirms that. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Yeah. Ugh, the plot is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this whole thing with Shinzon, the villain, who was, when he tells his backstory, it's not that much of a backstory. He was, you know, hated by the Romulans for some reason, and then the Remans and had, you know, rescued him and cared for him and raised him or something, and he's sort of dying of this radiation thing. I don't know. It's like, it's the cliche thing of, oh, I'm dying and I need your blood to save my life. Like, how many times have we seen that before? It's actually a plot that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 rips off. They have that plot as well when Harry Osborn is dying and he needs Spider-Man's blood. This is a similar thing, except with Shinzon and Picard. Well, what I will say is Patrick Stewart probably gives his best performance of the entire, of the 4 movies that he's in. He's less dramatic than he is. He's kind of toned it down a bit, which is good. I'm happy about that. Again, the same ongoing problem as with the previous 3 movies. The crew. The crew are so lifeless. They have no chemistry. There's no camaraderie between any of the TNG crew, apart from Data and Picard. Again, they are the only ones who get focus. How hard is it just to develop some more characters? How hard is it to write a script where you actually have characters that do something? You have people here in this film who are part of the crew who are just standing there doing fucking all. And oh, don't even get me started on the fucking rape scene. The fucking sex scene. Oh my god. Are we really... I never asked for Tom Hardy porno. I never asked for Rima's Tom Hardy porno. Just get this shit out of the fan. You know when. You know it's bad when the kitchen sink's been thrown in. And you know it's bad when you have to have a fucking mind meld of a sex scene. What the fuck was the point of that scene? Honestly, it had no resonance in the film whatsoever. It had no resonance. And the whole point was, like, I mean, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about this film. I didn't care about any of the characters. It's like Picard. He's the only character you care about. Again, what is it with the characters in this film? You just don't care. Even Data, I didn't feel anything when Data died. I didn't like Data in the first 3 movies that he was in the previous 3 movies, sorry. And, you know, he's well, they've toned him down a little bit here, but again, just give somebody else the fucking focus, for God's sake. Sorry for the rant, but, oh my god. I mean, it's especially cringy when we see B4, who's like the duplicate version of Data, and, you know, it's like, oh, he is my brother. Really? What the fuck's that supposed to mean? Oh, honestly, it is an absolute mess. I mean, the plot is ridiculous. I think Shinzon as a villain, he's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. It's just that Tom Hardy plays him like this really pompous, posh, kind of regal figure who thinks of himself as a regal figure. And honestly, I didn't get his character. I just didn't understand his motivations. Like, you know, he doesn't seem like he's the top dog, if that makes sense. And then they're trying to make out that he is the top dog. It's just like, just make your fucking mind up. Is he working for them or is he not? Is he on his own or is he not? Just, script writers, what the fuck? What saddens me most is that this screenplay was written by John Logan. That's the guy who wrote Skyfall, my favourite Bond film. This is bad. This is really bad. The only good thing you can say is really that there are some entertaining action sequences. And even then, it's the same shit we've seen in the previous 3 movies. Oh, God. I mean, I know Generations was bad for killing off Kirk. That was definitely bad. First Contact was the only good one of these TNG films. Insurrection was bad because of the plot. This is bad just for everything. Everything in this movie sucks. The production design is okay, I guess. The CGI is alright. You know, the CGI is alright, but at the end of the day, it's another who cares, fuck you, Star Trek fans plot. You know, I can see if you are a diehard TNG fan, you're going to love this film. Fair enough. I respect your opinion. But again, it's another fuck you, who gives a fuck plot about the TNG crew who I could not give a stuff about. It's a masterpiece of absolute shit. Honestly, I've never been more underwhelmed. And what was with the green mist? Like, what the fuck was that? Oh, it's just silly. And the direction by Stuart Baird is, again, it's just silly. Like, you know, this film tries to be very dark and serious, and you know, I just don't get it. Like, I don't get the whole idea that Shinzon is a clone of Picard. I just find that very far-fetched. I know that they've got similar kind of blood group, but how is he a clone? Like, oh, honestly. Ugh, God. Again, also with Data's death, you do not feel anything. You do not feel anything. I mean, I never felt anything in the previous 3 films when they tried to develop Data as like a, you know, he's trying to see the human. I mean, to be fair, I'll give the film this. The scene, the aftermath of his death, the scene directly after Data's death was very nice. The crew's reactions were great, and Picard's speech to B4 about Data was great. That was a nice sort of easing out, but everything leading up to it was just, yeah. It's like, let's have some action. The first half of the film, nothing happens. Yeah. Nothing happens in the first half of the movie. And anything that does happen is only small things, like when they find B4, and what's the whole point of including B4? There was no point. Like, he was an absolutely pointless character. And, I mean, I do like some of the action scenes, as I've said, you know, when Picard and Data escape the ship. That's good. But Data's sacrifice at the end just feels very forced and very abrupt. It's like, oh, we got to make this emotional, because, you know, I mean, I don't know if this was meant to be the last one, but I think that's what they're going for here. You know, it's like, oh, this is the last movie of the TNG crew. Let's make it sad. You should have done what Star Trek 6 did. Make it bittersweet. You know, because you don't feel anything from this film. The direction is just very rusty by Stuart Baird. As I understand it, he's also an editor. I think he is. I'm not entirely sure. I'd imagine so. Oh, God. I mean, you know, and the Remans. The villains. They're just big things to go, right, we're ready, what is the Enterprise, right. They're just big pantomime, cartoony villains, and, you know, as I say, there's so much confusion with the villains. You don't know who is actually in charge, whether Shinzon is the top of the hierarchy, or whether somebody else is above him, because you feel like, I think, is it the Vulcans or the Romulans, like somebody, I don't know, I'm a first time viewer, so I don't know all of the names, but, he's like working for somebody, but then he's doing all this to save his life. Like, I don't know. It's so confusing and contrived. It's like, script writers, get your heads out of your fucking asses and actually write a script. Don't wipe your ass with the shitty script. Write something on a piece of paper and, you know, try and express your idea. You've basically shit all over this. Whoop-de fucking do. Oh, fuck's sake. For words. Don't know what to say. What a fantastically bad way to end these films. No wonder it got a reboot. You know what? I don't think the J.J. Abrams films are anything spectacular, but this movie makes them look like a fucking masterpiece. I say that, definitely. Oh, God. The score is okay, I guess. I quite like the score. But again, the TNG crew, they just can't deliver. They can't deliver, and it pains me to say it. They just can't deliver. I mean, this movie just proves that. Like I said, the only good things really are Patrick Stewart, the music, and some of the production design. But that's not enough. That's not enough to redeem the errors of the previous films, and also to conclude this. Tom Hardy's terrible. Like, I know this was in his early days, and he would later go on to improve in films like The Dark Knight Rises and Legend. So fair enough. I'm not too keen on him being James Bond, to be honest, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But as for Tom Hardy's performance, it's a ridiculously cartoonish portrayal. It's a pantomime villain. You know, when he talks like this, Captain oh, you haven't seen the last of me, Captain Picard. You know, that's pretty much what... He doesn't say that, but that's pretty much what it is. And it's a horrible film. It's disgustingly made. There's no heart to it, even though they have the wedding scene at the start, which is the only nice scene of the film. Oh, God, the fucking sex scene. I can't get that out of my head. Like, when he's trying to, when he's like, I don't know, there's like he's a mind melding, and he's projecting this vision of himself on top of Troy having sex, and it's, excuse me one moment. Sorry. I had to get that out of my system. So anyway, I'm going to end this debacle because I have nothing else to say. I'm going to give Star Trek Nemesis... I just can't help myself. I can't help myself. I'm that angry. I'm going to give Star Trek 10 Nemesis a 0 out of 10. It was close to being a 1. That's how generous I was going to be. It was close to being a 1. I was very close to giving this movie a 1 out of 10. But you know what? Fuck it. It doesn't deserve it because of the way the previous ones went. So, that's it. That's my review of Star Trek Nemesis. And, well done. I mean, I've now watched all of the movies in this box set. So now, next time I will be reviewing J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek film, the Star Trek reboot of 2009, simply titled Star Trek. And boy, was it a reboot never needed more. Oh, God. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya.